Joining us now, Gulwali Passarlay, an Afghan refugee who, partly with the help of people smugglers, came to Britain as a 13-year-old after a year-long lone journey from his homeland. And from Italy, Edera Spadoni, who is a member of parliament for the populist Five-Star Movement. Italy has, of course, become a key destination for thousands of migrants in recent years. And you got overland as far as Calais. How many times did you attempt to get across the channel before you made it?
Probably over 100 times.
And how did you get across in the end?
Finally, I got lucky to get into a banana lorry. I tried everything, and then I made it to Britain. I made it to England.
But what would have happened if the banana lorry had turned on its freezer?
That was the scary thing. When the guy came with bananas, he said, "Who is going?" Everyone refused. Everyone said, "We're not going." But I was like, I had enough of this place. It was really cold. It was muddy. It was raining. I just went. I was risking it all. If he put it on, we would have been killed in the last leg of our journey.
So can you identify, therefore, with the people that we've just seen in Jonathan Miller's report, who are desperate to leave Syria, as desperate as you were to leave Afghanistan? What are your feelings for them, and whether they should too be allowed to get into Britain one way or another, or into Italy, or anywhere in Europe?
Indeed, absolutely. What people need to understand is that people will not leave their family, their country, their homes without extraordinary circumstances. People leave because they have no choice. They're desperate. And if you don't welcome them, who else will welcome them?
Let me ask you then, Edera Spadoni, what is your view as to what should be done? I mean, it's painful to listen to the testimony of those Syrians getting onto the boat, and indeed here to Gulwali from Afghanistan. What do you say to them? You can't come?
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for inviting here. Of course, there are migration is a really big issue, and I heard some really bad stories about that. I do believe that what we should do is to reflect about the European affairs policy was during these years. So basically we heard about Afghanistan, and what we did in Afghanistan was to stay there with enduring freedom, and then with other organizations we decided to go there. But at the end, which was the result in Afghanistan, or which was the result in Iraq?
Sorry to interrupt you, but do you think Italy is being unfairly treated by the rest of Europe in having to deal with this crisis?
I do believe so, because basically with the Dublin regulation, what happened is that the first state, I mean, if an asylum seeker comes into a state, basically it has to claim a visa in that state. This is absolutely unfair for the border states in Europe, because basically if an asylum seeker wants to do a family reunification in another state, has to start from Italy. So why, or Italy or Spain or the border states? So basically this is really unfair, because then Italy has the responsibility. We do believe, as the Five Stars movement, we do believe that all the states have to take their responsibility, and not just the border states.
Right.
That's what we believe.
Right. Gulwali, what would you do? I mean, there are so many hundreds of thousands, millions of people who want to flee and come to Europe. What would you advocate should be done?
I certainly agree with Marie. The problem is the invasion and occupation of Afghanistan was the wrong idea. The invasion of Iraq was the wrong idea. That's why we have refugees. That's why we have crises in the Middle East. And we have a moral responsibility to allow those people to come here. And people are coming here because they're desperate, as I said. There is a solution. The solution is to help them prevent those causes in the first place. And Europe the system is very unfair. For example...
But unfortunately, whatever happened has happened.
Indeed.
And now the people are fleeing Syria.
Yeah. They should be welcome. Where else they will go if they don't come to Europe? Because they see Europe as a place of hope. They see Britain where they will get alive, they will be safe, they will be secure. That's why they risk their life to be safe. But when they come here, we treat them inhumanely and without dignity. Yes, right. We need to have a more fair system in Europe.
So what would that more fair system be, Maria?
Well, what we proposed in the Chamber of Deputies as a Five Stars movement was a motion which was voted and approved last December. Basically, we asked a general and European management of migratory flows. What does that mean? That means that every state has to have a responsibility for the asylum seekers. That means that also, for example, in the transit state, some centers could be organized in order to prevent people to come into Europe and to ask for asylum visa, basically in these states. So that would be like the states in the border of Africa.
Maria,
so that would be just an option.
We've got to hope that the European Union listen to this and do something about it. But so far, the drift has been very much the other way. But thank you very much indeed for joining us. And Gulwali too. I'm sorry we didn't have more time, but thank you very much indeed for talking with us.